Hello, everybody. This is David Ruff, and I'm coming to you today to talk about housing because everything is all about housing. It is the largest expense that you're going to spend in your lifetime, and everything that is happening in the economy is going to come for the price of your home. So, whether there are going to be gas shortages, whether there's going to be an immigrant crisis, whether it's going to be about natural disasters, it always comes back to the biggest industries. The biggest industry hit the hardest. In housing, Canada, United States, Europe, most of the world, housing is going to be the biggest expense of your life, whether you're renting or purchasing. We're going to be talking about a couple of those articles today to see what dangers are in the market. We're going to be talking about how it's going to affect you and me in our homes. All right. If you want to join me on YouTube, you guys, all of the articles that I reference will be there on YouTube, and you can follow along with us. I go live every single day, so hope that to see you there on that platform. All right. The first article I want you to look at is theguardian.com. It mentions a Ponzi scheme by any other name, the bursting of China's property bubble. This is very, very, very concerning as it's such a large economy in the world. It starts off by mentioning that cash flow was under tremendous pressure and it might not be able to pay back its $300 billion in loans. This is China's Evergrande Development Group. This is a big issue. Now, nearly a third of all property loans now in China are classified as bad debt. 29% of all property loans are considered bad debt. Guys, this percentage is above the percentage of what happened in the United States. 29% of all loans in China is considered bad debt. Massively toxic. Okay, so if we continue with this same article, you guys, it mentions it's way, way up. As we can see, the graphs that the prices are dropping and percentages are dropping. Now, the government is kicking in. This is the Chinese government is planning to kick in 26 billion pounds and maybe much, much more to make sure that they don't collapse. Here is the problem with it and why it looks like a Ponzi scheme. It says it resembles a Ponzi scheme where money is taken from new investors to pay off existing clients in an ever-decreasing spiral of collapse. This is a big problem. Developers raise huge amounts of money from customers to basically fund the purchase of the next construction project. But here is the problem. The property market accounts for 20 to 30% of China's gross domestic product. Wow. 20 to 30%. China's housing market makes up their GDP. Unbelievable. So look at the danger. If their property market goes down, the entire market goes down. And this is how carefully we have to look at something like this. Now, remember this. In North America, in Canada and the US, when we sign for a new property, we pay them some money up front and we wait for it to be built. And once it's built, we start paying our mortgage. Here is the difference, is when we now in China sign on the dotted line for a new unit, you start paying for it immediately. And you may have to pay for it for 5 years, 6 years before it's even built. You are paying all that money for 5 or 6 years to the developer to finish off the projects from before. So the only money coming in to finish your project is the people that are coming after you. That is why they call it a Ponzi scheme. That's why you have to be very, very careful. And since it's such a large market in the US, 20 to 30% of their GDP, we have to be very, very careful. Okay, also on that side of the world, we're talking about India. As we talk about India, the rupee is collapsing, a record third straight session. Why is the rupee collapsing? Now, this is saying it's reflecting a wider currency crisis. I only highlighted one word here, as the dollar charged ahead. This is the sole reason why all currencies are dropping is because of the strength of the US dollar. People are fearing a massive collapse around the world and rushing to the US dollar. Imagine a world now where losing 12% of your money per year in inflation is a good deal. It's because you'll lose a lot more in a lot of these other places. This is the dollar milkshake theory by Brent Johnson. I suggest you look it up if you've never heard it before. But very, very, very significant for our times. Now, there's a lot of problems when the US dollar is so high. We can see that usually the British pound was very strong, much higher, and now it's trading at like 21-year lows. Big problems coming on from that country as well. So we've covered already a couple countries so far tonight. India is in trouble. China is in trouble. Now, most people would say, why is the Indian money going down? Well, I invite you to look up this chart. If you want to come to it, Trading Economics, we always reference it. If we look at the money supply over the last 10 years, it is straight up vertical for India. And you're like, oh my God, they've printed so much money. No wonder they're in trouble. Hang on a second. I want you to go and now type in Canada's M2 money supply. Oh my God, it looks even worse than India's. We're printing money like it's going out of style. Okay, let's go to the US. If you go look at the M2 money supply in the US, oh my goodness, it looks even worse. It's like a hockey stick, like a launcher into space. We're all printing money. So it's not just a unique India problem, a unique Chinese experience. This continues on into greater and greater depths. Okay, so here is the next article I have in businessstandard.com. You can go look it up. India's campaign for Rupee trade finds fans from Russia and the UAE. That's United Emirates. So if we look at this, what are they trying to do? So India is in a lot of trouble, you guys. So they cannot afford to buy this stuff they need over from the United States, and where their currencies are very high. The rupee is dropping in value. They're also printing a lot of money, a lot of political problems. But this is where the BRICS nations come in. BRICS is BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And now Argentina has joined them. And now Saudi Arabia is talking about joining them. If Saudi Arabia joins the BRIC countries and they create another reserve, big world shakeup. I mean, the world will separate into two. Saudi Arabia is the linchpin. Saudi Arabia is the reason why the world order is set the way it is, because all oil is transacted in US dollars in exchange for their security. So once the security is removed by the United States, which side will they choose? The side that Saudi Arabia chooses could dictate the future of the planet and the global world order. All right, so let's go on. I got India is trying to find their best friends. Which one is going to help them be better off in the long term? Now, once we go to this article, fortune.com, top economist Mohammed El Arian, I can't say his name right, I'm sorry. Relentless appreciation of the dollar. So the dollar going up in value is terrible news for the world economy. Absolutely. This is the big problem. And he said the new UK's government, Liz Truss, is putting a spending plan to boost growth. Now, she is a conservative, so she wants tax hikes and to give money to companies to try to boost their output. It says now the once dominant pound sterling is now down more than 21%. Yeah, I need you to hear that. The pound sterling is down 21%, which is shocking, okay? 21% compared to the dollar. The Japanese yen is down 20%. The euro and the Thai baht is down 15%. That is decimation of their currencies. And how hard is it now to pay 20% more, 21% more for the same product than they bought a year ago? They are getting currency inflation at the same time as we are. They're getting double hit. And all the governments are now pouring money into US dollars because that'll lose less than in their local economy. Now, the last article I wanted to show you, I want you to go to CNBC, and it's called The Real Cure for Inflation. Now, this is a United Kingdom-based article, but it doesn't really matter what country we are. And it says the real cure is to stabilize currency. And I need you to understand that what that means. Stabilize your currency, number one. And number two, investment incentives to boost growth. That's it. All right, you guys. So there is the real cure. Stabilize your currency. What does that mean? Don't print billions of dollars out of thin air. Now, I know the Canadian government said that we didn't print any. So when I say that they print, that is an expression. They don't go print billions of paper dollars. Okay. When you go buy a home, you don't come with a wheelbarrow full of money. and drop it off there. It's your bank. We'll just send an email over. So I know that the Canadian bank says the Canadian Bank of Canada says we didn't print anything, but we all know that they did, right? They're just playing with words right now. But guys, that money printing makes your money go less and less far. Inflation will continue to bite you. We need a stable currency, okay? And the currencies were stable before they opened the Federal Reserve in 1913. Stable currencies is what you want, number one. Number two, print more stuff. If we don't have enough of something, I don't care if you don't have enough water jugs. The answer isn't to make a water glass $5,000. The answer is to make more water jugs. And so this is the two sides of the economic spectrum. Number one, we have Keynesian economics and we have Austrian economics, the two sides. So think of this as liberal, conservative, or think of it as Republican and Democrat, okay? So on one side, the Keynesian economics says spend every last dollar that you have. Do not save a penny. Print as much money as you can from a government. Just keep the printing presses on as much as you can. And this has started in 08, especially like monetary heroin, where they have printed and printed and printed. And the idea is that the economy will grow from the demand side. So if you give enough money to everybody in their hands and they stand outside Elon Musk's home and scream, we want robots, with all the money in their hands, maybe someone will go build robots. Listen, demand side never works, right? And the other side is Austrian economics, where they say it's supply side. So if there is a massive shortage for homes in Canada, for example, missing 1 million homes, 5 million homes missing in the US, then there is a demand there, yes, but the only way that we're going to get prices down is if we figure out a way to build more homes. If people are starving to death on the street and they're all saying we need food has to be planted and the ground tilled and a whole year of growing. We have to be ahead of the game, right? So every time that we talk about this, this is like, to me, like common sense. Save for a rainy day. Only spend within your means. Here is the whole root of Austrian economics. Spend your money as a government just like you would from your household. There's no household on the planet that would make $100,000 and spend $200,000 every year and somehow be able to save for their future. It doesn't really happen that way. So no government could do that either. So we have to spend within our means and not spend like drunken sailors. This is always going to be the problem. We need more stuff. So the answer to more stuff isn't to tax people more. We need more stuff, right? So we try to come from the camp of common sense, but listen, every single government, doesn't matter, right, left, red, blue, whatever color, doesn't matter. They always keep layering on more and more and more debt every single year. So it's not that one government comes, spends too much, and the other one fixes it, and then the next one spends too much to come fix it. It doesn't matter. The line of debt just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, straight up, 45-degree angle. So they're all guilty. We need to spend within our means. We need governments to spend as if they were managing a household. Now, and all the money that we use has to be used for some kind of productive purpose. Now, that's easier said than done, right? I don't know how they're going to do it, but we haven't seen any country do it. So that's why we have to be wise with our investments so that we can make more money through our investments and outrun inflation. And we're going to do that by buying some types of commodities, some types of properties, and structuring our life a lot better. That's why I say financial education is your best return on investment. Read a lot of books, pay people for their information. I pay every single year to go and sit with tax strategists because we want to save more money, right? Why wouldn't we? We want to talk to efficiency experts to help us make more money. Whatever you can do to help you navigate this, because what happens over the next couple of years, like I always say, will dictate the next couple of decades of your life. As you know, I'm always here for your health, wealth, and happiness. You guys, hope that you like this type of stuff. I work in Toronto as a real estate broker. I'm not a financial advisor, but we buy and sell homes every single day. We had a fantastic weekend. 2 properties that we put on the market. Here's the thing. We aggressively advertise them, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all over the place, right? We got 25 showings in the first day, 3 offers, no conditions. It's not even heard of these days to sell a home with no conditions. Unbelievable. So that's why marketing changes. It's not stick a sign in your yard and walk away. It doesn't work like that anymore. But we had a great weekend. Congrats to our sellers. We operate all around the Greater Toronto area. If you ever need anything, reach out to me. But you guys, I want you to win. I want you to crush it and continue to crush it. So if you know one person that this could help, please send it to that one person. It will really help us to grow the channel. Please remember to like this. And if you like the stuff that I'm telling you, I'd like to know what parts you like. Most of the comments we get are all kinds of haters all over. But I would love to hear, if you don't like it, tell me. If you do like it, I want to know what you want me to make content about. Let me know. All right, you guys, I hope that you have a fantastic, fantastic night. I'll stick around and answer some questions, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks so much for sticking around. If you like that video, you might like this one and maybe something like that.